And this can be bent over. You can see, wow, how nice. Hi, I'm Milton Chang of Bonsai Heirloom. I dug up these two Arakawa black pine from my garden at the far end of my garden, which received very little water and very little care. Several things I can point out. These two trees grow fairly slowly compared to the rest of it in the area, which gets a little bit more water. And I would say a few of them are this tall and thick trunk compared to this short. But this one has fairly thick trunk, where this one is really kind of dwarfed because it didn't get enough water. So one thing I want to point out is if you want to grow a bonsai fast, which is desirable to show the age, the size of the trunk, you want to water it with lots of water and a little bit of fertilizer, but put them in the ground. And the second thing I want to point out is that you can see this one has a very long tap root, and this part died off, and very little root up front on top. And the reason is because I didn't cut it off as a seedling. I just planted them in the ground, and the tap root continued to go. Where this one, for whatever the reason, the tap root broke off, and there's a lot more growth in the top. So for this tree then, I will probably plant it in a 15-gallon can deep so that these roots would support the leaves so that it would not dry out. And then roots will grow here, and then I can cut this off when I'm ready to put in a bonsai pot. So that is the process where you grow a bonsai tree quickly by putting them in the ground, water them a lot, fertilizer, of course, but also cut off the taproot so that it doesn't grow this long taproot, which just makes it slower that you have to go through an extra process. Now let me work on these two trees. This is an easy one. Let me do a quick one. So a couple of things that are important I pointed out is to cut off the taproot and plant in the ground. And you clean up the mess. And I don't know, I think this tree really ought to be this tall. That's a little bit tall. I have a couple of possibilities. One is that let it grow to this tall. It will be this tall. But given that the trunk is not very thick, I think that's going to be too tall. So one possibility is I cut it off here. Now you can see this tree is about this tall from my hand to here. And there's a couple of branches growing, you can see. So if I cut it off here, I will have quite a short tree with that little stub as the apex. I cut off a little bit above that to protect it so this one doesn't break off. So now you can see I have a pretty squatty little tree that's kind of to scale. And one thing to remember is that when you have a branch like this with a little bit of a needle and you cut it off up on top, you see this could be an apex, but these will all have the possibility of branching out. So this tree, when you cut it, if you want it to have branches here, that would be fine. But in this case, I'm going to go this way, so that's my angle. So I will cut this off. And I will probably use this as the bottom. And could be either this one or that one, but remains to be seen. So as a backup plan, I keep both of them. And then I have a branch coming back this way. So I think I'm okay. Yeah, I'll probably cut this one off and use that branch. None of these have any green here. So they're going to be too far gone in the sense of too far out. So I might as well cut them off and let these little guys grow to be my secondary branch below. This could be a long one like that. So I cut off here, so this would branch out here. So that would be my tree. You can see the possibility when it grow out the triangle. This could be the apex, or this could be the apex. And we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, again, to save this tree, I cut off a lot of branches so that there's enough humidity or liquid or water to go into these branches to keep it alive. And if I plant it this way in a 15-gallon pot, there is no reason why this tree cannot survive. Even though when I dug it up, there's very little roots, fibrous roots. Out of these tap roots, fiber roots will grow and to save this tree. So that's done. Now, this is a much more serious tree. I love it because it naturally grew all these curves. So, for example, I can plant it this way, right, to take advantage of the thick trunk. I will probably plant it this way to save the tree. You can see it's very quick. So this tree could be like this, which is interesting. With this coming down like this, going, look at that. That's a good looking tree. Right now, if I want to be dramatic, I can make it grow like this. It's almost a cascade. And you know, how often do you see a cascade pine? Not very frequently. I don't know. What do you think? Again, this versus that. Well, to tell the truth, I think there are more trees like a drooping branch going up, whereas there's a very few that I ever seen that's cascade like this. Or for that matter, growing like this on the side of a cliff. I don't know. There are a lot of possibilities. So let your tree grow wild and then work on it. This, if I put it in a pot this way, you can see this is going to be a humongous branch, trunk, right? And this can be a dead wood coming up. That's a little interesting feature. This would be a nice root coming out. So that is a very conventional, not contrived tree. So maybe that's what I would do. Make it into a tree like this. And I can always change my mind later without giving myself a little bit of option. And you can see there's a little bit of growth here. So this will come out. So I'm going to leave this alone, even though my inclination is to cut off, let this branch grow, but just to be on the safe side. And this can be bent over. You can see, wow, how nice. And this I can also bend over without breaking it. So I can have two bent over branches. Like I can break it a little bit and then the other one down. That could be interesting. So with that in mind, then let me work on that design to accentuate, to take advantage of the stick trunk. And this is very natural, and it grew, windswept. So this would be the triangle, right? This is a very natural looking tree. And then this can be out like this, or this can be bent over a little bit like that. Okay, that's what I will do. Very exciting every time I work on a tree. And these I let it be, and when they dry out, I would use a wheel to take off the bark to show the white wood to create more of a exciting, dramatic chin. Okay, with that in mind then, I would say to be really dramatic, I would even do this. Because I want to rhyme this apex with this branch going out, because you want to say the wind is blowing that way. That's what it causes to grow that way. And this is a little bit long, but let me just cut it over here. Hopefully this will grow out. Okay, that's all I would do. So this tree will be planted in a pot, a growing pot, 15-gallon can. This would be a shari, I guess you call it a root. I don't know why we always go back to the Japanese names. And the trunk would be quite large. This is the base. This is coming up. This is a 15-year-old tree in the ground in a not very good growing area. And now you can see this is a windswept going this way. Everything's inclined towards that direction. And this branch is going to be pulled back, right, to show it's trying to, it got wind blown and it's still trying to reach for the light. And then some of these will be made into dead wood in time when they dried out. And this would be kind of a semi-windswept tree. And I can decide whether to go from here or here. That is my tree. So let me try to give it a few more finished touch. So now you can see this branch get pulled down. To give it the angle this way. And then this one, I'll pull it down this way. Well, it should be this way to also to show it's trying to grow away from the windswept. Again, the anchor wiring, it's a very effective way to get the bigger branches to the angle you want. And then you can manipulate the little branches to get it to the final shape because they're easy to manipulate and to create the illusion of what the tree wants to be without a significant amount of work. So I think it's a combination of wiring and anchoring that's the most effective. You do a little bit of wiring to get it to shape, and then you anchor the main trunk in the direction you want, which is not always easy to do when the trunk is big or with the wiring, but anchoring is really easy. So what do I care? Just do it on this branch, any branch nearby. So now you have a tree growing like this, and then this, and then this. And I think this should be, well, I think I may use this as the apex. So I'll see if I can put this one down. You see, I'm breaking it a little bit to move it. Again, I'll use the anchor wire instead of wiring. Again, I'm not opposed to wiring, but I think it's very hard to wire a thick trunk to get it to the right angle. So might as well use anchoring and then use the wiring or the clip and grow to manipulate the sub branches to get it to the shape you like. So like this branch, I said it should be down because I want to accentuate this one going up as the apex. This is a mess, but I'm not really worrying about it because I will be removing them in a few weeks, let's say at most 4 weeks time. So it will never grow into the tree. But you can see now this branch is pointing up before, now it's pointing down, conforming to my design. And this can be certainly be bent back even more. I do anything to get the branch to the right places. It doesn't matter because there's plenty of room to fine tune it. You can see this is the tree. It's going to be a magnificent tree. And I think this branch actually, this is going to be the apex. So this branch is meant to be coming down. I broke it, but that's okay. It will heal. But to be on the safe side, I will tape it to preserve the moisture loss. I tape it to minimize the moisture loss to save this branch, which I think it should be fine. But just to be on the safe side, it's easy to remove that wood. So this is the tree. Again, it's a little bit windswept, and this is a very long branch going out. And then this is a triangle, and this is a three-dimensionality. And I would, in about 6 months, planting this in a 15-gallon can, let it grow out and then rework it with you to show you the progress. And that's how you create dramatic trees, by being dramatic. If you try to be just like following the number 1, number 2, number 3 branch, you'll never get there. You know, you just create a good-looking tree, but not a dramatic-looking tree. This is dramatic. In a few years, when it fills out, it's going to be so precious. In summary, I've taken dug out 2 of the trees that I planted in the ground 15, 20 years ago, Arakawa pine trees. And you can see this one with a long taproot. I'm going to plant it in a 15-gallon can to make it into a bonsai like this. And then this one, I play with it and make it into a kind of a windswept tree, double trunk, which you don't often find in pine tree designs. And this is an interesting little shari, and this is broken, so I just cut it. And then when this dries out, I'll make it into dead wood. And so these are the 2 of the 10 Arakawa trees I planted about 15, 20 years ago. And I'll take out the rest of them over time to show you how to make them into bonsai. Well, thank you very much for watching today's video. Subscribe to our channel and tell a friend. And most importantly, go to our website and sign up to become our VIP so that we can send you announcements of special considerations. Thank you very much. See you next week.